Welcome everyone back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. You've been waiting for me to kill Kefka for quite a while, haven't you? Well, what do you say we go and do that? We're all here. Except for Shadow of Horrors, because he's dead. Oh, jeez, that's not right. Ow. Alright. It's, there we go. Okay, now this boss battle is going to take place across multiple actual enemies here. So we're not just fighting one final boss battle, we're fighting multiple ones. So don't think that once you defeated the first part that it's all going to be over. You have to defeat one, then you have to defeat another, then another, and then the final boss. Also, the music that's playing through here is actually some of the best music in the entire series here, I think. even though we're not really at some of the strongest parts of it. It's actually been playing multiple parts through the different sections of the battle. So we'll get a move on in a little bit. Okay, this is multiple targets for this one enemy here, and while Sabin can't focus Bum Rush on any particular, I can't target any particular item, Sabin will go and target specific parts of the enemy, which is why it's slightly less effective to use it here, because unlike Ultima, which attacks everything simultaneously and deals a crazy amount of damage in the process. Okay, here we go. That hopefully that does it. Oh, Quake. He's pulling out all the stops. Aha. Okay, he's down. Okay, we've moved on to the next stage, and let's get our characters cured immediately to defend against any type of attacks that he's going to bring our way, and continue to cast powerful magic spells. Now, once again, we are fighting multiple things at once here. I see 4 targets, and spells like Ultima will once again not split its damage among them, just damage them all quite well. Okay, we've moved on to the next portion of the song. It's a very varied tune, if that makes any sense. It's bringing back some of its things together. Bringing back some of its spells to life. Oh, look at that. Haha! Now, for a little while, I was thinking that Kefka's sort of, state of mind had changed a little bit from the way it was before, because the majority of the game he's running around saying ridiculous, crazy things, but he seemed to have his act a little bit more together in the beginning of the conversation we had. Of course, it didn't really stand out too long. When they start talking about, this is what I'm fighting for, he loses his patience and reverts back to the craziness that he was in before. Not that I say trying to destroy the world just for the purpose of destroying the world isn't crazy enough as it was, but it's pretty damn crazy on the face of it, but not the shit. That's not what I wanted to have happen. Oh, Edgar's down. Should have equipped the ribbons. Ha! Locke got healed. And now he's down. He's gonna cast a spell anyway. Oh, he's got zombie on him, I guess. Ha! He attacked himself. What a dumbass. And Terra's back. And we gotta get that zombie status off of him. Where is it? 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 Revivify. That'll do it. Ah, Sabin's frozen again. Shit. Just can't let me live, can ya? Okay, this isn't going to be quite enough to heal him up well, but Cure 2's all we really got for Locke. Start doing some killing! It's your problem! Locke is a little deficient in spells here. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go and bring all of his spells up to snuff like I did a lot of the other characters. He's gonna dispel. I'm not exactly sure what it's dispelling, but it's trying to dispel something. Okay, this one has proven to be quite a bit more difficult than the previous one, only because it knocked our characters down and is insisting on not letting them get back up. And down. Oh, no, it's resurrecting. Kill! 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 Okay, second one's down. Moving on. And the next portion of the song should be starting soon as it cycles through. Now I think this is technically I could be wrong about this, but this may be the weakest part of this boss tower. Or at least the one that will be the easiest one for me to just trounce over while it's attempting to get its power up. So, spamming it with Ultima a few times should do me some good. Although I have to acknowledge that I'm starting to run low on magic points for my other characters. So I should focus a little more on trying to use different attacks for that. Okay, took the boss down in the back. It will get healed, but it'll get killed again real quick. I'm not terribly worried about that. Ah, immune to death. Dude, come on. Not as powerful as I would like, but, you know, take what you can get. Haha, down you go. Oh, down. Haha, that was quick. Told you it would be easy. Oh, damn! Okay, Kefka will... It's Kefka in all of his crazy-ass glory. And this guy is a frickin' beast. So this, I can't guarantee that I'm going to survive this. Oh, jeez. Where's the Mega Elixir? Mega Elixir, where is it? There we go. Boom. Because that spell he uses is similar to Heartless Angel, which would go and take my characters down to minimal HP to only 1 hit point in order to well, it takes us down to 1 HP. What more reason does he need than that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of guard against him trying to do that kind of thing by casting Life 3 on some of my characters. So in the event that... Ah, oh, jeez, it missed. Or I'm going to hit it really hard. Down he goes. I cast Life 2 instead of Life 3. That was my mistake. If I would have cast Life 3, which... Here we go. He's got it. Oh, there's a head. Yeah, this angelic form that he's taking here is probably most definitely the source of the inspiration for Sephiroth's final form in Final Fantasy VII. This very, well, angelic's probably the best word, and one that I've already used. Goner. And this music here that I'm talking about right now, this last part of the song, Dancing Mad, is very, I'd say it's probably one of the most influential songs, and although I'd say it probably take a little bit of a backseat to what they did in 7. It's definitely one of the more memorable and one of the better songs in the Final Fantasy series. Oh, shit, did I just kill him? Oh, I have not beaten this guy in... I'm gonna guess it's probably been over 20 years since I last even fought this thing. I didn't even do a test run through before I took him out. I'm just kind of surprised that I beat him. I guess attribute it to spending a lot of time leveling up my characters and making sure they all had Ultima. Oh, geez, a dissolving thing, too. I forgot about that. Magic is dying. Oh, was that his last name? You best hurry up, bro. It's a switch, dude. There's nothing to figure out. That's weird. Why are they doing it like this? Good job, doof. Okay, they're just starting to burn through the names now. Oh, dude. Oh, shit. It's like incredible hog strength. Mog is Mog. I never would have guessed. These idiots are having a terrible time trying to escape. Let me guess, as Amaru. Yeah. Dude, that's not the door. Couldn't you just open the door? I'm guessing Go-Go. Never really identified what Go-Go was. Idiot. Dude, you weren't even a part of this. I didn't take you along because you're useless. Oh, that's pleasant. Anyone could have just jumped off the side. What the hell was that? As opposed to just not letting go, how about you pull her up? Oh, you still have Magicite. Yeah, old people can't figure out conveyor belts, I guess. You're a terrible painter. Please give it up. Shadow didn't make it. At the time, I had forgotten what I had to do to save his life, and that would have been waiting for him on the floating continent after Kefka had pushed the statues out of alignment. I left as soon as I got there, and that means that he didn't make it. Get your ass up there. What? Save the freaking kid. What's wrong with you? Okay, there we go. Oh, me? Well, aw shucks. Well, they weren't planning on going anywhere else. Oh, alright. Oh, down she goes. What, you didn't think of looking there? Whoa, there we go, the end credits, and there it is, Final Fantasy VI. Now, as usual, I'll take this time during the credits rolling to take a little bit of a retrospective view on my playthrough this game and my views on the game as a whole. Let's say, this is probably one of the most beloved, or in fact, it's reasonable to say that of the old fans of this series, it is the most loved game in the series, you know. Because a lot of people who were fans of the old Final Fantasy sort of grew to dislike what it had turned into with the 7th installment. And then a lot of people who liked 7 started to dislike what happened with, say, 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that. So you see a lot of the older fans saying 6 was the best. And I can definitely see why they say that, even though it's not something that I agree with. It was the second Final Fantasy game I had played, aside from one of the other, maybe it was like Mystic Quest or something like that, which really doesn't even count. But I can look at this and I figure, why does everyone like this so much? And the reason why I can best come up with is mostly because of a nostalgia for it. Because it was something that they played when they were young or when they were kids or something, and at the time, this was groundbreaking. The production values in this game were absolutely incredible at the time it was released. And this really did start the trend for Square to release even more and more and more complex games, higher production values, all that kind of stuff. 7 took a big leap. 7 took a big leap. Then, of course, 10, another big leap. Then 12, and then 13, all these really big leaps, but the first one, I'd say 6, was the one that started that whole trend towards the more complex storylines and playstyles. That being said, though, it makes a lot of mistakes that, retrospectively at least, I'm looking back now, and I can think really aren't that good of choices. Like, for example, they have a lot of characters, and on one hand that's not a bad thing, because I do like the idea of there not really being a main character. And despite what you may think about Terra being the main character, or Celis being the main character, or Locke, or whoever you want to say, the really isn't a main character, and there's no one character in which the entire story revolves around. Even though certain characters have connections with, say, Kefka, like Terra has a connection with Kefka, Celis has a connection with Kefka, but that's really it. There's no one character who you could say has the strongest connection with the main antagonist, and the story focuses on the most. In fact, one big thing against Terra being the main character is the fact that once we hit the world of Ruin, she hasn't even encountered for quite a while. You're playing as Celis most of the time, but she isn't the main character because it's a couple of hours into the game before she's even introduced. Locke's not the main character. He's not in the opening sequence. He disappears for a long time. And it's an option of not even bringing him back into the party once you hit the world of Ruin. So there is no main character. That seems like that's not something I really have a problem with. The problem I do have is with a lot of these other characters. Amaru, characters like that, Mog. These, granted, are temporary characters. Or not temporary, optional characters. But they don't really have any impact with the storyline. You could take them or leave them, and the only reason why you take them is because you wanted the characters for what abilities they possess in battle. Or Mog, with the ability to ignore battle, avoid battles, that kind of thing. They don't really have an impact for the storyline. When they get into certain situations, they don't speak, they don't voice up their opinion, they don't involve themselves in the story. So that's really the biggest problem I have. There are a lot of periphery characters who are really superfluous to the story. They're there, but that's really all that they're doing there. Now, if you take a character like, say, Locke, an important character in the story, not really for the overall plot. The only real plot he isn't terribly involved with was he was the one that saved Terra, brought her out of Narsh in the beginning of the game. That's his only real contribution to the plot, seeing if you consider the plot only to be trying to save the world. But as a character, though, in a character-focused perspective, he is an important character because he brings a lot of things into the story, such as the little bit of a love story he has with Celis and that kind of thing. Same thing goes with Celis. She has points in the plot where she is very important, but she's not. She really not terribly important for a majority of the game. But when taken in perspective of character-based story, she has a use. She is important to the story in that regard, if that makes any sense. Shadow's somewhere in the middle of the road, character who can be important if you look at him in a certain way, but is very easily avoidable. Terra survived this. Remember, Magic was going to die. They were worried about her surviving. It was mentioned while they were trying to escape. The reason why she survived is because she had a connection with the kids of whatever that town was called. And that connection is what made her human again. And now we're seeing all of the places that we had visited. They were destroyed. Everything was messed up. And the people are rebuilding. And this is what Terra had mentioned to Kefka back when he was going through his crazy rant. That you destroy them, you beat them down. Humans will rebuild what gets destroyed. They're survivors, really. But of course, now I have to turn my attention to Kefka, the main antagonist of this game, and kind of a unusual situation with him because, well, not terribly unusual given the nature of these kinds of games, where he is the main antagonist from the second part of the game on, and the first part, which was the Emperor, was really a little bit of a red herring. He was definitely a bad guy, a very evil son of a bitch, and he deserved to die just as much as anybody, but Kefka starts off as being a character you don't really take too seriously, and that's something I do love about the way they treated this character. Someone you don't take seriously at first, but the longer the storyline goes on, the more and more he gets to become like, oh my god, this guy's an actual threat. When he goes and he poisons people at Doma Castle, this guy's a real threat. He's a doofus, and he's a physical coward, but he's a real threat. Then, of course, he gets more and more powerful. He gains more power. He steals the power from the espers, gets stronger there, steals more power from the statues, becomes essentially a god in this universe. He's more and more powerful, and he becomes a bigger and bigger threat. And I love the way that they treated him with that. But on the other hand, what I have to say I don't like about the character was the fact that even when you reach the end of the story, his only end game is to destroy things for the sake of destroying. It's not like he has some greater motivation behind his things, and I am not a fan of evil for the sake of evil. So, while I say he is an incredibly memorable character, and will probably go down in history as one of the greatest villains in video game history, I'd say it was really mostly a result of people at the time not really being used to being more complex characters. Like, people may call me an asshole or an idiot or whatever for saying this, but I would say a character like Vayne Solidor was a much deeper and better villain overall, even though he was not terribly popular, I imagine, with a lot of the fans of the series. But that's just my 2 cents. It's my opinion, doesn't mean it has to be yours. If you have any disagreement with that, I'd love to hear whatever comments you have on that in the comments section. Have a little discussion with that. But anyway, we have reached the end of Final Fantasy VI. We see a Starfield. The end is there, and it's the end of this series. I loved playing this game, despite what I may have sounded like over the past few minutes. And I'm looking forward to moving on to whatever next project I can come up with. And if you have liked what I've done here, feel free to check out any of the other Let's Play series, or the other series I have, like Until I Die or First Levels I have on this channel. Until then, thank you and goodbye.